Hello, my darlings. I hope you're doing well. I'm very, very excited to be sharing with you the 2026 cosmic color forecast that is extremely powerful. This is a leading edge year. It is about sovereign leadership, it's about embodiment and new beginnings, restoring each and every person with their choice to their original blueprint, to their original source self. This reading here that I'm going to give you is designed to guide you through what this year holds and what's possible. It's also going to, my intention is that it's going to show you how to consciously harness the power of what you and I and everybody else has, because this really is a significant energetic reset. And we haven't had this. I would go as far as to say we have never had this in this lifetime. So I'm going to first of all explain why this is so, and I'm working with the color numerology. So each number is associated with, carries a frequency. It's associated with a color. And in color numerology, I work with nine main numbers and colors. And so what I'm going to share with you is initially the workings, like where does this energy of 2026 come from, and why is it different to any other year? So you're coming into adding up 2026, which comes to the number 10, right? And this number 10, if we take it as two numbers, we're adding first of all the 1 and the 0, which becomes the 1, which is the energy and the frequency that 2026 carries as a single number, which is associated with red. Now, what's really important, if we kind of take a step back into the original number that is making up the 1 year of 2026, because this is really, really important. When we understand almost the original blueprint that has birthed the red energy through the 1, then we're going to see the fuller, bigger picture of what this year is about. And I can't emphasize enough the power that this year brings. And of course, like anything else, what you do and how you use that power is up to you. You can use this power respectively, you can use it wisely, and you will gain much from that energy. Or you can use it another way and use it for destruction, and therefore you're going to get burnt. So, this is why it's really important to understand the power of what you have and how you can use this energy for your highest good and highest purpose and the good of all concerned. So, we're starting off this reading with the significance of the number 10 that we're being given in its original form when we add up 2026. So we're going to take the 10, which is about uh, mastery, right? It's an initiation number. Number 10 is not the energy for beginners. It's the energy of mastery and initiation. So when you think about the 1 aspect, this is the identity. This is leadership. This is the initiation into the I am presence. And then you have the 0, which is source, which is infinite intelligence, which is divine potential. And also what comes with that is the energy of the void. It will feel, if you haven't gone already into the void, into the alchemy of the void where everything begins and ends, 2026 will take you there. And this is not something to be afraid of. This is the void is where you set yourself free from any restriction, constriction, and falsehoods. This is where you are liberated. And if you want any help with that, reach out to me and I would be delighted to have a chat with you because I have been there and it has been the most empowering, liberating experience. Because when you go into that 0 point of unity consciousness, you really, really become fully liberated to the soul and to the alchemy of who you are on a soul level. And this 0 amplifies, it spiritualizes whatever it touches. And it's for your highest good and highest purpose. It's like there is absolutely nothing to fear when you're in this energy. It's like once you allow yourself land into this space, this is the power of creation. So what is going to be important this year is alignment. It's really the one is saying alignment. And what is this alignment? It's your identity. Every single person is going to be called to really look at your identity. What are you identifying with? And also, like, really coming into the identity of your soul. The soul is not here to follow. The soul is here to lead. And each soul leads in a completely different way based on their soul's frequency that is unique. And so when you start operating from the identity of your soul, then you are really tapping into this I am presence that is anything but the ego. So it's like, it's not, you're no longer driven by the ego, you're driven by alchemy, by divinity, by intuition. And the 0 is coming in and saying, you are divine source. You are limitless. You have this infinite intelligence to tap into. You have this divine potential where everything and anything is possible. You can be, do, and have whatever you desire. There are no limits. And so this is the place of the unseen field. And before anything comes into form, even before we came into this world, before we were conceived, at conception, we started off as an energetic light. And we can see that spark that brings into form so that we become physical. And this is what 2026 is about. It's the alchemy, it's the divinity, it's the energy, letting the energy inform your action. So you will not be allowed to push forward to make things happen because every one of us are here to allow, to tap into the life force that red represents. Red is life force. And so when you tap into this energy of red, red fuels you. Red is igniting passion. Red will give you what is required to do the thing that is required for you to have whatever it is you want. And it will call you to actually to let go of any aspect that goes against the grain. So let's give an example about like pain, right? So it's like pain, lack, they're a choice. But you can have something else instead. You can have discomfort. You can have ease. You can have joy. but you must choose those outcomes. And then to have those outcomes, you must do differently. And so this is what we're going to see more and more into 2026. It's like this is the year that's initiating you into sovereign leadership guided by source. You are a sovereign being. You're not here to control anything. You're here to allow. You're here to receive. You're here to be supported. You're here for the heart coherence. In fact, that's what this year is really about. It's like returning to your heart coherence, that inner alignment through your heart that is influencing your external environment, your external experience. So when you come in to the aligned internal you, then life will respond externally based on your vibration, based on your frequency. So this year is really all about the frequency. So red energy, when it's taking up that one space, then it's saying it's a year of initiation. It is the red carpet. Red does not ask for permission. Red gives permission. Red is commanding. Red knows itself, to thine own self be true. Red is action, movement. So red is life force entered into people's lives. You can be, do, and have because you have the life force that's guiding you. So red is going to be saying, there's no more waiting. Go first. Go first. This is the year for no more waiting for things to change. It's not an option. Nothing changes until you do. Nothing changes until you take the action. Because this year is the energy of change makers. So this is your year. If you resonate with being a change maker, if you resonate with being a sacred rebel. And so what's going to happen for a lot of people, if they're not in alignment with the soul's identity of who they are, then they're going to experience sudden resets. They're going to experience unexpected redirections. Now, there's nothing to fear in this because the redirections are for their highest good and highest purpose. So once you know that whatever is going on in 2026, it's for your highest good and highest purpose. There's a higher redirection, a better life, a more abundant way of being, a more fulfilling, a more alive. In fact, what's happening here is that in 2026, it's unhooking from the program of slavery. Right? So what are you a slave to? You'll know that you're a slave to certain things when you're in the energy of lack. So the shift is from any aspect of victim into victor. So if you think about it, this year is a victorious year. And so it's not necessarily about your plan. While it's good to have an idea and a plan, letting the divine come in and alchemize that plan is what this year is going to be about. And it's actually focusing on creating something that lasts, not just for yourself, but for the world. We are part of a bigger picture. And so the divine plan is coming in this year and it is going to show you the way. So pay attention. Now also understand that in this energy, the red that, like we'll say, what red can come up against, it can be misunderstood. So something might be happening in your life and you might misunderstand that as something negative. It isn't negative. It's for your highest good because red is the pure heart. It is the life force. It is connecting you with Mother Earth and divine source at the same time. And what it's looking for and what its aim is, you leading from the energy of source, really getting into the energy of flow, higher intelligence, alignment, letting go of any aspect of hustle, letting the divine choose the life that your heart desires. So it's not about giving any external situation any power over you. You're in charge. And what it will require is for you operating outside of your comfort zone. So this year is a year of expansion. It's a year of growth. It's a year of love. It's a year of passion. It's really going to be very important to come back to who am I on the inside. To thine own self be true. Who are you? Who do you think you are? In a good way. So it's leading yourself first. It's not about following the crowd. It's not about doing what you've done because that's all you know. It's really about letting go of any conditioning. It's about really, really tapping in to your soul's design because your soul knows. And so it's also about looking at where your default mechanism is. Is it through effort, pressure, overwhelm, waiting for permission? Red is not going to tolerate that anymore because red knows. Red knows that you are limitless, that you are designed for success, that you are here to really understand the importance of your presence. And so, what it's going to ask is for you to be more present, present in your sense of self, present in your life, present to what you're creating. Because what's going to be really important, why this presence is so important, it's like for you to be present, then it means things can start landing in for you. So it's really about this presence is about landing, right? This is really, really, really powerful to understand. And so it's also about being conscious. So you have the red soul color personality. So this is your year because you are the conscious leader. It's consciousness, being conscious, leading from the energy of love, passion, joy, having the energy. And also, it's about thriving together. It's not about doing it alone. We're not here to be lone wolves. And to understand, there's more where that came from. There is space for every one of us. So, with that, it will require you to develop a greater sense of self, leading yourself, being a role model, showing another way, bringing the new into the world through you. Because if you're not in the room, if you're not here present, then the divine can't do its work because the work is being done through you. So any aspect of resistance, let it go. because there's wonderful new developments emerging. This is also this year is really the energy of emergence, leading with love, and really creating something that is worth it, following your passion, living outside the lines, setting yourself free. And so the energy of red is here. The red light has the longest wavelength. All right, so what that means is it doesn't skim the surface. What that means that it penetrates, like working with the energy of the red light. It goes straight into the skin. It goes into the fascia. It works also very, very powerfully with the mitochondria. And this is the energy that works on the cells. This is the center of the cells. And so this is why there's going to be no more pussyfooting around. It's going to go straight to where it needs. Right? So red is associated with physical regeneration. So there's going to be a regeneration physically. This is why well-being, your well-being is going to be very, very important, because your body must hold the higher frequencies, and therefore the body must be in optimum health. But also your physical environment, the people that you're with, all these specific physicalities are actually going to come up for your attention, because it's really about vitality. Because the red is about the physical necessities of life. And that's what 2026 is. We are starting now to get things in order, in physical order, for you to create a miraculous, beautiful, incredible life. It's all available. So, what's the other thing about red is that red is quick. So, red moves things. There's acceleration. So, there kind of is no, if you're waiting to be ready to act, you're going to be waiting. But actually, in 2026, there will be no waiting, because circumstances will be put in place to get you moving. And this is a good thing, because if you're not moving, if you're not changing, you're stagnant. The human form and energy must move, because that's how it creates. So this is a year of movement. And red is saying that it belongs. Red is taking up the space. You belong. You are here to take up the full energetic space that you came here to fill, because nobody else can do what you can do. Nobody else can be like you. So you may as well fully own it. And it's got me thinking, actually, because I was thinking, oh my God, actually, if you think about red, there isn't much red around. I wonder why that is. Red seems to be missing, because what is happening if red is missing? They're not physically here. They're living from the neck up. And when you're living from here up, you can't bring the ideas, the dreams into physical form. So this is why it's going to be so important to be present, to ground and anchor and take care of the soil in your life, as well as the soil in your garden, so that it will create beautiful, sweet fruits over sour fruits. So, what you give your attention in 2026 is creating something that's going to last for a good 10 years in the cycle you're in, right? So, you want to create something that lasts, because red builds before it expands. So this is why you are being called to create now. Get the ground ready so that you can rise. Stabilize into the soul of who you are, into your heart's desires, into you stabilizing into what it is you truly want, and then you will be able to accelerate. So this is why it's so, so important to really work with the energy of red. So if you can't take the red energy, go with the red orange energy, because the higher frequencies require somewhere to land. And if you don't have the red energy within you, if you think about red, it's the blood. So the blood must move through your body for all of your organs, for your body to operate in top form. So it's the same for life. We need the red life force so that we can hold the frequency, and the frequency has somewhere to land. So this is why this year focus on not just manifestation, not just manifesting. Manifest what you want to last. So it's asking you as well to reflect. In fact, in January, it's a great time to reflect, to really look at what it is. How are you operating? What are you operating from? Like, are you trusting your heart over fear? Are you following and living aspects based on what society taught you? Because what did society tell us? Society told us that if it's to come from logic and reason, it gave the power to the mind, and it dismissed intuition. It dismissed what the heart knew. And so red is returning to your heart, to love, to passion. And 2026 will be about unlearning anything that goes against you living from your limitless heart and soul. It is really about you now focusing on, what do I love to do? What would be a life that I love? And what also to understand with this red is to, like, reassurance is like, you are protected this year. You're supported by spirit. You can do whatever your heart desires. You're a sacred rebel. And so you are protected. And this is why coming back and realigning with the infinite source of potential, if you haven't done it already, is crucial. It's also about refusing to torture yourself with any horror stories that you're going to be hearing outside there about what could go wrong, about lack and limitation. Take your attention out of the external limits and what could go wrong, and focus on what could go right. Focus on passion, on sensuality, on romance, on being alive, and also softening, loosening, tapping into the power and the alchemy of you, and trusting in divine order. Everything is working out in divine and perfect order. And this year is a year designed for success. So if you start coming into this year in 2026 with that truth and focusing your energy on claiming that success is yours by divine right, and you're taking action from that place, then success is guaranteed. And this is the beauty about this year. So if you're a red soul color personality, tap in and make use of this energy because this is your year. And if you're a turquoise soul color personality, it's also a very important year for you because turquoise blue is the complementary color of red. So if the red gets too much for you, tap into the complementary color of red being the turquoise blue. And turquoise blue is use your voice, oceans of possibilities, sky being the limit. Water is something that's going to be very, very important for everybody. Being near water, spending more time in water, looking at the quality of the water you're drinking, because that's having a huge impact. In fact, it's the basis of people's health and well-being, because water is source. We say a source of water. And so this is going to help balance the fiery energy of red and prevent you from burning yourself out. Take a pause. You don't have to necessarily stop because sometimes when we stop, we've got to use that engine to turn on again and get it all started. Just say, you know what, I'm going to pause and allow and receive and be available because this year is about the full expression of you and tapping in to what your soul knows. So if you don't know what your soul color personality is, I'll put the link here in this video and you can avail of the free tool that I have created to support you in really understanding the soul of you over the human form. And it's about then living the soul of you in physical real-time form. And it's also about being willing. Like, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. What are you willing to do and what are you willing to no longer do? These are the questions that red are going to be asking. And red sometimes can be misunderstood because the red really has a wonderful heart, is passionate, forward thinking, innovative, but it can be misunderstood. But it has you, if you go with this to red has my highest good in mind. And red is looking for honesty. Red wants to know. And red is not building for the sake of building. It's building and creating what lasts, what matters. So let's just sit in here for a minute. And let's sit in the beautiful red energy. Feel it come in. And connect with the red. Red also has a very warm, solid, moving energy about it. Red is now saying, reflect. Is the life you're living now, or the life you're working towards, actually the life that you want to be living? Or is it the one that you were told that would make you happy, or you were told what makes up a happy life? Is it a life that's acceptable, sensible? Red is saying, what about your kind of life? What does your ideal day feel like in your body? That's another thing about 2026 with red. It's saying, feel the body knows as well, like tune in with the body. What fills you up with energy? What's draining you? Red is honest and direct, and it's here for you. It's about being 100% honest with yourself. Lovely. Feel the life force initiated through your body and your energy. To have the courage, red is very courageous as well, to have the courage to dare and to also understand that as souls, because the soul is expansive and the soul sees beyond the human form, and it's like, oh, there's more where that came from, there's more where that came from. But maybe we've been told, oh, but if you ask for more, you're like, what, how why aren't you happy with what you've got? That's not the soul, because the soul is limitless. The soul is expansive. Yes, you can, it's important to enjoy and appreciate what you have already and to create from enhancement over need. But what's really wonderful is to come from this place of the more. There's more than enough for everybody. There's more where that came from. There's more where that came from. And so, what will not be tolerated in 2026 because of the red energy is literally staying in your comfort zone, delaying living the version of the life that you want. I live that when, or I'll do that when I have more time, when I have more money, when I retire, when I've earned it. That's the trap. The past cannot create. The future isn't here yet. The only place that you'll be called to create is from the present, is from the now. And this is why waiting for things to change is not an option, because nothing changes until you do. So this is why making a decision and staying by the decision is very, very important in 2026. Letting go of any aspect of fear. No longer outsourcing your authority to timing, permission, or approval of others from others. No more. This is a year of no more. Living life on your terms from the inside out, and your frequency is determining your external experience. And so the real question is not, is this possible? It's, am I willing? Am I willing to live it? Be willing. to be the expansive soul of you fully. Owning your power as a creator. Loving yourself. Living a life that you love, that resonates with you. Following your passion. Living outside the lines. Being that sacred rebel. And setting yourself free from any aspect of the slavery blueprint. You are setting yourself free. And how you do that is to be conscious and intentional, taking aligned action, even though it may not make logical sense. Moving your body, making moves. So if you're feeling something in you is calling you to shift, if you're done circling with those same patterns, if you're ready to fully lead life on your terms, then I would actually highly recommend that you have a soul session with me where I can really, really transmit the unique soul blueprint of you and the phase of the soul journey that you are now being called to live from. These are not coaching calls. These are real alchemical soul sessions that are literally going straight to the core. And it's recalibrating people to a whole other level. And so this is why these sessions are extremely important. So I'll put the link in here for you to have a look, because what we're being asked in 2026 is to be like water. Water always finds a way. It either erodes what's in its way, it moves around, but it requires flow. It requires movement. And so you are being called to move. Now, some of the things you may find, let's say you might be in a job that you really love this job, but there has been redundancies, or there's been changes and they're moving you somewhere else, and you don't want to do this. This is a sign that there is a redirection that is going to help you move out of your familiar patterning that have done their time, and that you are being taken to a whole other experience. So if that's happening for you, it's a good thing. Don't resist it. Because this year is designed for meaningful success. Doing the things that are giving you energy over draining your energy. And this is why it's so important to share this reading with anyone that you feel would really benefit from this, because this is about living the life by your soul's design. Harnessing that red energy that's here, that will also accelerate things, that will have you live a life way beyond your dreams. When I think about my own life, it's like the life that I am living here in Provence. I was like, oh my God, like every day I feel the gratitude. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't have imagined this. I didn't imagine this life. But oh my God, it is magical. Because why? Because I followed the redirection. Even if I didn't want it at the beginning, because I didn't know better. But what I knew better to follow the guidance to get out of my own way, to fall into the unknown, into the adventure. And this is what it's about, living an adventurous life. And I am thanking my blessings that I gave way to the divine way, because my life is so magical and so beautiful that I still have my mind blown going, oh, I mean, it's it's just so good. So how good can you allow your life to become in 2026 and beyond? In this whole new era. In fact, this is a new era. So bring your hands here in the prayer position, balancing the left and right hemispheres, coming in to your center. And I give myself permission to thrive, to follow my passion, and to live a life that I love, with people I love. And this is unconditional love. Wonderful. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know what your main takeaway is. I want to know one takeaway that you are going to have with you to support you, to anchor you in to the beautiful red energy, so that you fulfill your most magnificent life, because that's what it's about. And I will do readings for the other soul color personalities in the coming weeks to help guide you to harness the energy of this wonderful red energy that is only going to move things out of the way that are keeping you limited. Take care. Bye.